Every 6 seconds, someone is diagnosed with diabetes. Every 7 seconds, someone dies from it. Those numbers are terrifying. But what if I told you there's something even more alarming, something that almost nobody is talking about? Nearly 99% of older adults are missing one simple natural tool that could not only help prevent this disease, but actually reverse it. It is not a medication. It is not insulin. It is a leaf. Yes, a leaf that grows quietly in backyards, forests, and markets across the world. For generations, nature has offered solutions hidden in plain sight, but somehow we have forgotten them. Or worse, we have been told they do not matter. Meanwhile, pharmaceutical companies keep producing pills and prescriptions, while this tiny green secret gets ignored. But here is the truth. Recent studies have shown that certain leaves contain compounds that not only help lower blood sugar, but can also melt stubborn belly fat and clear clogged arteries faster than some leading drugs. That is not wishful thinking. That is published science quietly buried, rarely discussed, and the most powerful leaf of all. It might already be growing near your home. In this video, we are going to reveal the 7 most powerful anti-diabetic leaves known to nature. One of them has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity by over 60%. Another reduced blood sugar levels by more than 50 points in just 30 days. This is not folklore. This is fact. Before we dive in, I have one simple request. Let us know in the comments how old are you and where are you watching from. We read every comment because your answer helps us track how far this life-saving knowledge is spreading. And now, let us get started. Because every minute you wait, your blood sugar, your arteries, and your energy may be slipping further away. Let us take back control, starting with a single leaf. Let us begin with one of the most underestimated leaves in the world, curry leaf. Often tossed into a pan for flavor and forgotten, this simple green leaf holds far more power than most people realize. For decades, it has been used in traditional Indian cooking, but scientists now understand that its real value may lie in what it does inside your body, not just on your plate. The secret is a compound called mahanimbine. This natural alkaloid has been shown to enhance fat metabolism and regulate blood sugar levels. In plain terms, it helps your body burn fat more efficiently and control how it processes sugar. That makes it incredibly important for anyone dealing with weight gain or rising glucose levels. A study published in Phytotherapy Research gave curry leaf extract to diabetic mice for just 2 weeks. The result? Their blood sugar dropped by 58%. But mice are one thing, what about people? In a clinical trial in Malaysia, 32 patients with type 2 diabetes were asked to drink curry leaf tea every morning before breakfast. After just 30 days, their average fasting blood sugar dropped by 32 milligrams per deciliter. Even more impressive, their triglyceride levels fell by 24%, and 40% of the participants reported fewer sugar cravings and a reduced appetite. That brings us to Maria, a 55-year-old dental hygienist from Arizona. After years on metformin and struggling with stubborn belly fat, she felt drained and foggy. A colleague introduced her to curry leaf tea. Skeptical but desperate, she tried it. Within 2 weeks, her fasting blood sugar dropped from 168 to 126. After 6 weeks, she had lost 9 pounds, mostly around her waist. But what mattered most to her was clarity. She said, "It felt like my brain finally turned back on." Her doctor was so surprised he cut her medication in half. This is just the beginning. From a leaf you could grow in your own kitchen, we see the potential for transformation. But what if there were another leaf, just as simple, that could actually block sugar before it even spikes? Let us move on to the next leaf, guava. While curry leaf helps your body burn sugar more efficiently, guava leaf takes a different approach. It stops sugar before it can do damage. This tropical leaf has been quietly studied by Japanese scientists for years. It contains 2 powerful plant compounds, quercetin and chlorogenic acid. These antioxidants do not just clean up damage, they act early, blocking the enzymes that turn carbohydrates into glucose. In other words, guava leaf prevents sugar spikes before they even happen. Imagine eating a bowl of rice or a slice of bread, and instead of your blood sugar shooting up, it stays steady. That is exactly what researchers saw in a study published in Food Chemistry. Volunteers drank guava leaf tea before a high-carb meal. Compared to the control group, their post-meal blood sugar dropped by 25%. 1 serving, 1 meal. That is the kind of effect pharmaceutical companies would charge hundreds of dollars for. But the real magic happens over time. In a 2020 clinical study with 120 participants, guava leaf tea was taken twice daily for 12 weeks. Their average HbA1c levels, an important 3-month measure of blood sugar, dropped from 7.6 to 6.3%. That is a medical breakthrough. Even more, fasting glucose improved by 17%, and insulin resistance was significantly reduced. And then there is Susan, a 64-year-old retired librarian from Florida. She was not overweight, but she often felt bloated, sluggish, and foggy. Her blood sugar had slowly crept up over the years. One night, while reading a newsletter about traditional healing herbs, she came across guava leaf tea. It seemed simple, almost too simple, but she started drinking it before dinner. After 2 weeks, the bloating disappeared. After a month, her fasting sugar dropped from 136 to 109. 3 months later, her A1C was a healthy 5.5%. Her doctor ran the test twice, just to be sure. Susan says it best: "It felt like my body remembered how to heal itself." So far, we have seen how some leaves can boost insulin function, and others can stop sugar from even entering your blood. But what if there was a leaf that actually acts like insulin itself? That is exactly what we will explore next. If guava leaf works like a shield, blocking sugar from causing damage, then the insulin plant acts like a key, unlocking your cells so they can actually use the sugar already in your blood. Known scientifically as Costus igneus, this striking green leaf has earned the nickname insulin plant for good reason. It contains a powerful compound called corosolic acid, which mimics the natural action of insulin. Unlike pills that take time to digest, this leaf begins working almost immediately. When chewed fresh, its active compounds are absorbed directly through the mouth and gut lining, bypassing the slow digestive route. A clinical study in 2016 followed 60 adults with uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. After just 30 days of taking insulin plant leaves, their fasting blood sugar dropped by an average of 52 milligrams per deciliter. That kind of improvement would normally require combining 2 different medications, but here it came from one fresh green leaf. The insulin plant also does something many drugs cannot. It protects beta cells, the insulin-producing cells in your pancreas, from oxidative damage. That means it not only helps manage diabetes, but may slow its progression by defending the organ most at risk. Now meet Daryl, a 51-year-old night shift security guard from Cleveland, Ohio. Years of vending machine snacks, stress, and poor sleep had pushed his fasting blood sugar past 180. His doctor warned that insulin injections were next. But while scrolling through a support group online, he read about the insulin plant. Curious, he ordered cuttings from a Florida nursery and began chewing one leaf every morning before bed. Within a week, his hunger calmed. By day 30, his fasting glucose had dropped to 129. He thought it was a fluke, but 3 months later, his A1C had gone from 8.4 to 6.9. His energy returned. His blood pressure stabilized. His doctor paused the insulin prescription. Daryl still chews a leaf every day and calls it the leaf that turned my numbers around. We have seen leaves that protect, block, and mimic insulin. But what if one could also heal the heart while lowering sugar? Let us look next at a leaf famous in the Mediterranean, but often forgotten olive leaf. While the insulin plant works inside your body like a biochemical tool, lowering sugar and protecting your pancreas, olive leaf brings something else to the table: healing for both your blood sugar and your heart. Most people are familiar with olive oil and its heart-healthy benefits, especially in the Mediterranean diet. But what many do not realize is that the leaves of the olive tree may hold even more medicinal power than the oil itself. And for people with diabetes or metabolic issues, this could be life-changing. The key compound in olive leaves is called oleuropein. It acts as a natural antioxidant and anti-inflammatory agent, but more importantly, it improves insulin sensitivity and helps stabilize blood sugar levels. It also reduces the stress placed on your pancreas, the very organ responsible for insulin production. In a 2012 clinical trial published in Planta Medica, 79 overweight men with early signs of insulin resistance were given olive leaf extract for 12 weeks. The results were clear: a 15% improvement in insulin sensitivity and a 28% increase in pancreatic responsiveness. For someone struggling with type 2 diabetes, These numbers are not just good, they are potentially life-saving. But the benefits went beyond blood sugar. Participants also experienced reduced LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, both key contributors to clogged arteries and heart disease. That makes olive leaf a rare kind of remedy, one that targets sugar, fat, and inflammation all at once. That brings us to Evelyn, a 67-year-old retired nurse from San Diego. She had been battling type 2 diabetes for over a decade and was on multiple medications: metformin, a statin, and a blood pressure pill. She felt bloated, fatigued, and discouraged. But after reading about the traditional use of olive leaf in Mediterranean cultures, she made a small change, swapping her nightly chamomile tea for olive leaf tea. Over 6 months, Evelyn's A1C dropped from 7.8 to 6.4. Her doctor took her off the statin first, then halved her metformin. But what surprised her most was how she looked and felt. She lost 15 pounds without changing her diet, and the puffiness in her hands and face faded. It felt like something inside finally started working again, she said. So far, we have explored leaves that help your body manage sugar. But what if one leaf could go even further, stopping sugar before it ever enters your blood? That is exactly what we will uncover next with mulberry leaf. Olive leaf helps your body respond better to sugar. But what if you could stop that sugar from ever entering your bloodstream in the first place? That is exactly what mulberry leaf does. It acts like a gatekeeper in your gut, blocking the enzymes that break down carbohydrates into glucose. When those enzymes are slowed or stopped, sugar never even gets the chance to spike your blood sugar. The active compound responsible for this effect is called 1-deoxynigermycin, or DNJ. It works by inhibiting alpha-glucosidase, the enzyme that helps digest complex carbs. Without this enzyme fully activated, carbs are processed more slowly or passed through without being absorbed as sugar. A randomized clinical trial, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, studied 37 adults with type 2 diabetes. Participants were given mulberry leaf extract before a carbohydrate-rich meal. The results were dramatic. Post-meal blood sugar spikes dropped by 44%, and that was after just one meal. A longer-term study out of China tracked patients who drank mulberry leaf tea twice a day for 3 months. Their fasting blood sugar dropped by 28%, and their HbA1c levels dropped by 1.2 points, similar to the effects of many prescription drugs. Even better, many patients also reported reduced appetite and fewer sugar cravings. Now, meet Bernard, a 60-year-old taxi driver from Chicago. Long hours behind the wheel meant diner food, sweet coffee, and convenience over health. His blood sugar was always over 200, and insulin injections seemed inevitable. But then his daughter, a college student studying nutrition, came home with a bag of dried mulberry leaves and a thermos. Bernard started drinking the tea before each meal. Within 4 weeks, his post-lunch sugar readings dropped by 50 to 70 points. 3 months later, his A1C had gone from 8.9 to 7.1. He also lost weight mainly around his midsection and stopped craving sweets. Even his doctor, initially skeptical, was stunned by the results. With mulberry leaf, sugar is blocked before it can harm you. But what if a humble kitchen spice, something you probably already have in your pantry, could offer similar benefits? Let us talk next about a glossy green leaf that deserves a second look: bay leaf. Mulberry leaf blocks sugar from the very first bite. But sometimes, the most powerful helpers are already sitting quietly in our kitchen, used for flavor, yet forgotten for healing. That is the case with bay leaf. You have probably dropped a bay leaf into soup or stew and never thought twice. But inside this glossy green leaf are natural compounds that can dramatically improve how your body handles sugar and fat. For people struggling with diabetes, this is more than seasoning, it is support. Bay leaf contains powerful phytochemicals like eugenol, cineol, and linalool. These compounds have been shown to improve insulin function, reduce inflammation in the pancreas, and lower oxidative stress, all key factors in managing and possibly reversing type 2 diabetes. In a groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition, researchers gave ground bay leaf to 40 adults with type 2 diabetes. After just 30 days, participants who took just 3 grams per day saw a 26% drop in fasting blood sugar. That is not all. Their cholesterol dropped by 20%, triglycerides by 25%, and LDL cholesterol by 24%. These are changes normally associated with multiple medications, not one simple leaf. Let us talk about Leticia, a 70-year-old grandmother from Mexico City. She had been diabetic for over 20 years. Her life was quiet, mostly spent at home, and she had come to accept the tingling in her feet, the fatigue, and the medications as part of aging. But her daughter, who practices homeopathy, suggested she try bay leaf tea before dinner, not for diabetes, but to help digestion. To their surprise, something bigger happened. Within 2 weeks, the tingling in Leticia's feet started to ease. A month later, her fasting blood sugar had dropped from the 190s to 138. Her cholesterol improved so much her doctor paused one of her medications. And she did not change her diet or routine, just 1 cup of bay leaf tea every evening. Bay leaf reminds us that nature's answers are often right in front of us, quiet, familiar, and powerful. And yet, all the leaves we have covered so far still lead to one final discovery. A bitter leaf. A misunderstood leaf, but perhaps the most powerful of them all. It is time to meet the bitter melon leaf. Bay leaf shows us that healing can come from the most unexpected places, like a spice jar. But among all the leaves we have explored, none is quite as bold, as misunderstood, or as powerful as this final one, bitter melon leaf. Known across Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean, bitter melon is often recognized by its wrinkled, bumpy fruit. But it is the leaf, not the fruit, that holds some of the most remarkable blood sugar-lowering potential in the natural world. This leaf contains multiple bioactive compounds, charantin, vicine, and polypeptide P, that work together to mimic insulin, increase glucose uptake in cells, and reduce sugar production in the liver. One study, published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, followed 100 individuals with type 2 diabetes who drank bitter melon leaf tea twice a day for 12 weeks. The results? Their insulin sensitivity improved by 67%, and fasting blood sugar dropped by an average of 54 milligrams per deciliter. But it did not stop there. Participants also saw a 35% reduction in triglycerides, a 21% drop in LDL cholesterol, and an average 3.1-inch decrease in waist circumference. These are the 3 biggest risk factors for long-term diabetic complications, addressed with one leaf. That brings us to Hassan, a 58-year-old mechanic from Detroit, Michigan. He had lived for years with high blood sugar, constant thirst, and numbness in his hands. He was already on medication, but nothing seemed to work. One afternoon, while chatting with a customer about his symptoms, the woman mentioned how bitter melon leaf had helped her father. Curious, Hassan found a local Asian market, bought a bundle of fresh leaves, and began brewing tea. He drank 1 cup in the morning, 1 before dinner. Within 2 months, he had lost 15 pounds. His energy returned. The numbness faded. His fasting blood sugar dropped from over 200 to 128. His doctor was so surprised, he double-checked the results. Today, Hassan grows bitter melon in his own backyard. It is ugly, he laughs, but it saved my life. 7 leaves, 7 stories. Each one offering a different path to the same goal, a healthier, more empowered life. But knowing the leaves is only the beginning. What we do next is what truly matters. Hassan's story reminds us that healing often begins with curiosity and the courage to try something different. 7 leaves. 7 ordinary people. 7 journeys back to energy, clarity, and control. Each of these leaves works in its own way. Curry leaf improves fat metabolism and reduces sugar cravings. Guava leaf blocks sugar before it spikes. Insulin plant mimics the function of insulin itself. Olive leaf strengthens your heart and your insulin response. Mulberry leaf slows down carb absorption. Bay leaf balances sugar and fat at the same time. Bitter melon leaf attacks diabetes at every angle, from sugar to fat to inflammation. No single leaf is a miracle, but each one offers something powerful, something science is just beginning to understand, and something most doctors never mention, because they are focused on prescriptions, on numbers, on protocols. But you are not a number. You are someone's father, someone's sister, someone's friend. And if these leaves can help you feel better, live longer, and enjoy more years with the people you love, then they are not just plants. They are lifelines. This is not about rejecting medicine. It is about giving your body more tools, natural, accessible, and backed by research to heal in ways modern drugs sometimes overlook. And the best part? Many of these leaves are free. They grow in gardens. They line local markets. They are hiding in plain sight, waiting to be noticed. So, if you have ever felt tired of chasing better numbers, if you have ever wondered if nature still holds answers, let these 7 stories be your reminder. Yes, there is still hope. Yes, your body can change. And yes, you can start small, with 1 leaf, 1 cup, 1 choice. The journey toward healing does not have to be complicated. It just needs to begin. The journey toward healing begins with 1 choice, but it does not have to be a lonely one. If you found something in this video that sparked a thought, stirred a memory, or gave you hope, do not let it stop here. Share it. There is someone out there, maybe a friend, a neighbor, a loved one, who is quietly struggling with the same fears you once carried. The fear of losing control, the fear of living tired, the fear of being stuck with no way forward. Your story, your experience, even just your curiosity, it matters. So take a moment to tell us in the comments. Have you ever tried one of these natural remedies? Did your parents or grandparents use them? Are you growing any of these leaves in your own backyard? We read every single comment. And often, the most powerful healing does not come from a video, it comes from one person sharing with another, saying, "Hey, this helped me. Maybe it will help you too." Also, if you have not done so already, subscribe to this channel. We are building a space where health is not just about lab results and medications. It is about remembering the wisdom our bodies still carry and the natural gifts the earth continues to offer. Every week, we share new stories, new research, and new ways to care for your health with dignity, simplicity, and hope. So, whether you are here for your health, for someone you love, or just because something inside you said, "I need to know more," you are in the right place. And remember, your journey is not over. It may be just beginning. Start today with 1 small step. 1 leaf, 1 story, 1 decision to believe that healing is still possible. We are with you.